Pentheus, child of Echion, is dead.
Once we left the settlements of Thebes, then started to climb up Mount Kithaeron, Pentheus and myself. The stranger was our guide, scouting the way. First we sat down in a grassy meadow, keeping our feet and tongues quite silent, so we could see without being noticed. The Maenads sat there, their hands all busy with delightful work, chanting Bacchic songs to one another, carefree as fillies freed from harness. Then Pentheus, that unhappy man, not seeing the crowd of women, spoke up. "Stranger, I can't see from where I'm standing. My eyes can't glimpse those crafty Maenads. But up there on that hill, a pine tree stands. If I climbed that, I might see those women and witness the disgraceful things they do." Then I saw the stranger's work a marvel. He seized that pine tree's topmost branch. It stretched up to heaven and brought it down, pulling it to the dark earth, bending it as if it were a bow or some curved wheel forced into a circle while staked out with pegs. That's how the stranger made the tree bend down. He set Pentheus in that pine tree's branches. Then his hands released the tree, but slowly, so it stood up straight, being very careful not to shake Pentheus loose. So that pine towered straight up to the heavens, with my king perched on its back. Maenads could see him there, more easily than he could spy them. The Bacchae charged straight through the valley and torrents, the mountains, the cliffs, pushed to a god-inspired frenzy. They saw the king there sitting in that pine. Thousands of hands grabbed the tree and pulled. They yanked it from the ground. Pentheus fell, crashing to the earth down from his lofty perch, screaming in distress. He knew well enough something dreadful was about to happen. His priestess mother first began the slaughter. She hurled herself at him. Pentheus tore off his headband, untying it from his head. So wretched Agave could recognize him, so she wouldn't kill him. Touching her cheek, he cried out, "It's me, mother, Pentheus, your child." She didn't listen. She was possessed, in a Bacchic frenzy. She seized his left arm below the elbow, pushed her foot against the poor man's ribs, then tore his shoulder out. The strength she had, it was not her own. The god put power into those hands of hers. Meanwhile, Ino, her sister, went to the other side, ripping off chunks of Pentheus' flesh, while Atone and all the Bacchae, the whole crowd of them, attacked as well, all of them howling out together. As long as Pentheus was alive, he kept on screaming.
Ah!
His body parts lie scattered everywhere, some under rough rocks, some in the forest, deep in the trees. They're difficult to find. As for the poor victim's head, his mother stumbled on it. Her hands picked it up, then stuck it on a thyrsus at the tip. Now she carries it around Kithaeron, as though it were some wild lion's head.
All those of you who carry some part of wretched Pentheus, you slaves, come here right by the house. I'm worn out. So many searches, but I picked up the body. I came across it in the rocky clefts on Mount Kithaeron, ripped to pieces. No parts lying together in one place. It was in the woods, difficult to search. This grief beyond measure, beyond endurance. With these hands of yours, you've murdered him. You strike down this sacrificial victim, this offering to the gods, then invite me, and all of these to share a banquet? Alas, first for your sorrow, then my own. Lord God Bromius, born into this family, has destroyed us, acting out his justice. But too much so. First, raise your eyes. Look up into the sky.
All right. But why tell me to look up there?
Does the sky still seem the same to you? Or has it changed?
It seems, well, brighter, more translucent than it was before.
And your inner spirit? Is it still shaky?
I don't understand what it is you're asking, but my mind is starting to clear somehow. It's changing. It's not what it was before.
Then tell me this. To whose house did you come when you got married?
You gave me to Echion, who, men say, was one of those who grew from seeds you cast.
In that house you bore your husband a child. What was his name?
His name was Pentheus. I conceived him with his father.
Well then, this head in your hands you're holding, whose is it?
It's a lion's. That's what the hunters said.
Inspect it carefully. You can do that without much effort.
What is this? What am I looking at? What am I holding?
Look at it. You'll understand more clearly.
What I see fills me with horrific pain, such agony.
Does it seem still to you a lion's head?
No. It's appalling. This head I'm holding belongs to Pentheus. Who killed him? How did he come into my hands? Tell me, my heart is pounding in me to hear what you're about to say.
You. You killed him. You and your sisters.
Now I see. Dionysus has destroyed us all. Alas, for my poor son, my only child, destroyed by his mother's Bacchic madness. How could these hands of mine, which loved him so, have torn these limbs apart, ripped out his flesh? His face was handsome, on the verge of manhood. See the soft down still resting on these lips, which have kissed me thousands of times or more? All this and all the rest, set here before us. Oh, Zeus and all you Olympian gods, it makes no sense. It's unendurable. How could the god have wished such things on me?
What is wisdom? What is finer than the rights they pick from gods, to hold their powerful hands over the heads of their enemies? Ah, yes, what's good is always loved. So praise Dionysus, praise the dancing god, god of revelry, the god whose justice is divine, whose justice now reveals itself.
The gods appear in many forms, carrying with them unwelcome things. What people thought would happen never did. What they did not expect, the gods made happen. That's what this story has revealed.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Does it look? Oh, it probably.
I turned off my